Close your eyes. Become relaxed in your seat. Standing if you prefer. Take 3 deep and loving breaths with me now. Picture yourself walking upon a road. Feel the ground underneath your feet as you walk. Feel the air bristle by the skin of your face and arm. Feel the cool, fresh air as you breathe it in, walking down this road. As you do, begin to notice that this road exists in a most pleasing place, and that to your left and to your right are sights that you find most beautiful. Allow your imagination to furnish these sights, and allow your heart to furnish the emotion that corresponds to the beholding of these wonders as you are walking along the road to ecstasy. Notice the smells, the sounds, the sights. Notice, as you say, the wildlife. Feel the glow in your heart and understand that the you that you are now being is the preferred you. Watch how that you walks. Watch how that you holds its head and hold your head that way. Beholding sights of beauty and creating the corresponding emotionality of appreciation. Notice off into the distance a doorway. As you come upon a structure, a building, allow your imagination to furnish the form in which you behold this building. It is still quite often to the distance. Notice and continue to appreciate along this path the sights and sounds that you are beholding. Notice as the structure providing the doorway before you grows in size as you approach it, closer and closer, larger and larger, and understand that the structure is quite large, extends, as you say, into the sky. As you, prior to entering this structure, scan upward, notice in whatever form that it presents itself, at the peak of the structure, any idea, any form of what you call antenna, and notice, in that sense, its shape and orientation. As you approach the opening, the gateway, the doorway into the structure, you notice that there are several, as you say, steps down. And as you approach the doorway, you descend down these steps into what you perceive to be a main room in the center of the structure. Allow yourself to perceive the descending down the stairs, into the depths, into the heart, into the very foundation of the building that you have entered. Notice the corridor through which you are walking. Notice the various ornamentations that are, in that sense, etched upon the walls of the hallway. And notice that at the end of the hallway is another door leading into a room. Slowly, purposefully, yet effortlessly allow yourself to continue to descend these steps until you reach that doorway. As you enter the room, once again, centrally located within the structure, you will notice that there is a chair. Before that chair, there is what you call a table. Upon that table is what you colloquially refer to as a television set. That television set simply has a wire that would, in that sense, ascend upward. And you understand that that wire connects to the antenna that you have created atop the structure. Allow yourself to approach the chair. Sit within it. Notice the features of the room around you. Notice the walls. Feel the floor beneath your feet. Notice the ceiling above you. Notice its shape, its size. Notice, as you say, the scent or the smell of the room. Breathe deeply as you sit in this chair and relax. Once again with me now, and yet for the first time. Take 3 more deep breaths, followed by yet another 3. Breathing in love and light. Breathing out old ideas which no longer apply to who you are. And 3 more. Breathing in knowingness. Breathing in self-validation and excitement. Breathing out self-judgment. Notice the sense of relaxation that your body has now assumed. Feel the deeply all-pervading relaxation that you have not often felt before. Feel this sense of complete comfort, simply being where you are, having no ambitions to be anywhere else, and having no inclination toward reflecting back on any quote-unquote past moment. Drink in where you are, simply being consciously who you are, sitting in that chair in front of that television set. Now understand, you are within the depths of your own beingness, extending into the heavens, yet firmly grounded in your reality, as symbolized by the descending steps into this chamber. Allow yourself to understand that you are now connected to what you call your spiritual nature directly, yet grounding that spiritual nature into physicality, into the physical world that you are creating. Feel this connection as above, so as below. Feel the complete knowingness that you are the reality. Understand that what will be broadcast upon that television set is your life, is who you are. Literally, this device, as you have created it, is a discernment instrument which takes for granted that there are many overlapping frequencies occurring at the same time, but gives you the ability to finely and distinctly tune into a particular frequency, clarify that frequency, focus that frequency, and bring it through seemingly as the only frequency. This is literally what your machine does do. This is literally how it will function within the scenario that you are co-creating with me now. You will understand that as you look down into one of your hands, you will find what you call, remote control. But you will understand that what this set is tuned to is your excitement, is your vision, is your intention. Understanding this, each and every one of you, in whatever way you choose to create it, turn on that set and allow yourself to see your vision. Understand you have the option to, as you say, flip the channels and thereby check in with the various frequencies, but pay particular attention to what presents itself upon that screen. Again, particularly that which you least expect, which is what shall occur. And as you are flipping through the channels, as you say, notice the tone of what you call the programming. Notice the overall emphasis of whatever scenario or quote-unquote show happens to come up. Take some time, create some time, and as you say, flip through the channels. Understand that what you are seeing upon the screen is you performing actions within scenarios, corresponding and creating events, and allow yourself, in observing yourself doing so, to feel which events attract you more than other events. Remember that as you are, again, flipping your channels, no one is judging you. Therefore, grant yourself that same respect. Any show that happens to present itself upon your screen is all right, in that sense, to watch. Also understand that anything that you are performing within that scenario shows you, by virtue of the fact that you are seeing yourself performing it, that it is something completely within your capability. Also, as you see yourself doing that thing, also remind yourself of the fact that you obviously are displaying that you can handle all the power and responsibility that comes along with the playing out, with the expression of this idea that so excites you. So feel this and allow yourself to once again focus in on, perhaps now beginning to narrow down your channels to but 2 or 3 events, or 2 or 3 overall ideas that you find most exciting. If no one particular program stands out as being any more exciting than any other, then continue to fluctuate and continue to, in that sense, watch each of the programs. But many or most of you will find that one particular scenario stands out as being that much more exciting than anything else. When that is the case for you, allow yourself to see yourself on the set, on the television screen, performing the most exciting thing that you can right now picture you will ever do. As many of you will sometimes do, allow yourself to, as you sometimes say, live vicariously through the image you are seeing upon your television set. Absorb yourself in the show, still for now maintaining the separation, but emotionally feeling the joy that you feel when you watch a particularly pleasing program. As you sit, once again perched in front of your television set, begin to notice that seemingly the entire instrument is moving toward you, growing larger and larger as it approaches you. Understand that perhaps it was much farther away than you had at first imagined, and is far larger than you first imagined. And as it approaches you, you begin to understand that you are not watching something occurring behind a screen, but you are watching a scenario through a window or a porthole that now is approaching you and coming into your physical proximity. Allow it to continue to approach you, understanding that you will not bump into it. Notice as it approaches that it begins to wrap around you, no longer simply maintaining the image of being in front of you, but now surrounding you on both sides. And stand up in your imagination from that chair. Picture, if you will, the screen now wrapping around you, coming to a complete circle in back of you. So now you are surrounded 360 degrees on all sides by the image, and are literally now within the image, no longer separate from the image. Feel yourself in the scenario doing the most exciting thing. As you are doing it, feel the joy and what you refer to as satisfaction that comes along with that idea. Feel it. Do not analyze. Feel it. Notice any unexpected happenings within the scenario. Pay particular attention to things which are occurring that you did not expect, rather than the ones that you did. And continue to feel the joy of the identification of being the you say you prefer to be. when you have fully allowed yourself to feel how it is to be the you prefer to be. Allow your surroundings to once again become misty and fog-like until you are standing in the blackness, as you say. As this blackness subsides, notice that you are once again within your seat, within your room, upon your planet this evening of your time. And allow yourself, at whatever pace is most pleasing, to breathe deeply. And once again, open your eyes, bringing back with you this experience. Now understand, though particular symbols, familiar symbols were used, the choice of each symbol is precise. The choice of each symbol is purposeful. You have preconceived ideas of many of these symbols, and therefore we merely played with you, utilizing the symbols already prevalent in your society. But this is far more than simply an exercise. It is literally a form of alignment. I simply suggest to you that this is only the beginning, in that sense, of clarifying your vision. Allowing yourself in a spontaneous fashion to tune into what excites you the most. However, again, many things that occurred within your vision may have again been unexpected. So pay particular attention not to what came up that was most obvious, although you can note that as well, but pay particular attention to anything within that scenario that came up that was not expected. Continue to focus on the joy that those unexpected ideas brought you, the enhancement that those unexpected ideas brought along with them to the scenario, and understand that this is how your reality falls into place. As you clarify your vision as a clear intention, round and about you does the reality begin to conform. Round and about you does the reality begin to fall into place to allow you to experience that vision. But it will often do so in the most unexpected of ways. And that surprise, that unexpected direction is just as much a part of your creatorhood. For it is literally one of the reasons that you have created yourself as a physical being. One of the reasons that you choose to forget your totality and focus on what ultimately would seem like a minute portion of yourself. And this is, again, not only for the experience itself, but the joy of discovery within the playing out of that experience. Very often, many of you will lament that things are unknown. And this is a complete disacknowledgement of your purposeful application of what you will choose to know and not know. I remind you, when you know it all, you cannot learn. You cannot experience anything seemingly for the first time. And you cannot be surprised. Surprise in and of itself is one of the primary reasons for choosing to create a physical reality. Therefore, from your higher self perspective, is a source of great joy. Your willingness to flow with this appreciation will allow your reality to deliver things to you by surprise, in seemingly the most unexpected ways. The ecstatic explosion of coincidence. Again, things will still come from time to time along the most expected path. But perhaps more often than not, you will find that your willingness to lighten up your grip and insistence that it must come in a particular way will allow it to come far faster through coincidence, through surprise, through the joy of discovery of who you are. We thank you for your willingness to participate in this exercise with us this evening. Before we continue with what you call the interaction, the exchange, again I remind you, we too are continually discovering, discovering, uncovering who we are as well. And the process of utilizing your communication as a reflection enhances us in ways that are not immediately available upon merely the experience of our planet itself. So I remind you of this to thank you for your willingness to share with us, which brings us more growth than many of you will assume. We are all equal in the eyes of all that is. We are all equal in our own eyes. The differences are as fascinating to us as the similarities. We thank you for your willingness to co-create with us in this way. And once again, resume with shutting